Hey guys, and welcome to another video where I will be drawing one of my favorite characters from the animation house Ghibli. Well, we call it Ghibli here. Princess Mononoke. Mononoke actually means kind of a demon person from the Japanese mythology, and usually there's a big gap between concept of demons and mythology in the Western world and particularly Japanese culture, because Japanese culture has around 8 million different demons connected to everyday objects and mythological and even forest creatures. So the view that you can see in this animated masterpiece is actually how the Japanese people view nature. So every natural phenomenon or creature that lives in the forest actually is represented as a magical being, as a special being. So this, if you haven't watched this, please do, because it represents an epic battle between technology and humans and the world of modern things and evolution, and the traditional nature and mythology and traditional concepts of living. So it's represented in this most amazing way that kept me so hypnotized when I was a kid. So I warmly recommend everybody should watch this, because it's just an amazing adventure. But also keep in mind that maybe some more sensitive viewers won't be happy to watch animals in a bit of difficult scenes, because there's a lot of animals that have scenes of them suffering illnesses or war, or just dying all over the place because they're in war with the humans. And between Studio Ghibli and Disney movies, actually the Japanese movies don't always end with a happy ending. They don't always have everybody surviving the story in the war and etc. So be careful while watching this particular movie. I remember when it was aired in my country, a lot of kids and parents were grabbing the kids and just running away from the cinema, because the kids were starting to massively cry. It was a complete chaos at that moment, because people here were just used to watching regular Disney movies, and they expected Princess Mononoke to be one, and boy were they wrong. So anyways, this is a really short video this week, for this Wednesday, because it has the standard things I talk about every week, and I wanted to show you that even though I have an animal character, you can see that actually animals are not that difficult or complicated to draw. The main point is, don't draw them from your mind. Always use reference photos for any type of animal. So whichever animal you choose to draw, you always need to take a look at anime and manga drawings, and take a look on how the artist actually draw animal companions and spirits in the anime world. Mostly when you see an animal in an anime series, you will see them either as a photorealistic animal or as a really simplified animal, like creature, like a Pikachu or Pokemons, Digimons. They're really simple to draw. They're literally a bunch of squares and triangles and just regular shapes. All the while, normally looking animals are drawn with almost every fiber of their fur drawn out. If there are any kind of feathers or decorations on them, or just any type of scales on the creature, those will be drawn up to the tiniest detail. So that is why I used most details on this wolf, Princess Mononoke's wolf mother, to emphasize her fluffy fur by making it from a zigzagging piles of zigzag lines, and notice that I have made a lot of crumpled skin around her eye, and that's not just for nothing, because when you want to make a character and animal character look more vibrant and more alive, you will definitely use this trick and place a lot of details around their eyes. If you did this on a human, you would get a completely different result. You would literally get an old person. So remember this. You can crumple up faces on animals, well, mainly wolves, cats, and other mammals, but don't crumple up faces on humans unless you want them to look animalistic or really old. So this is a useful tip for everybody who wants to try drawing animals. Usually animals have a lot of eyelashes, especially mammals, so don't be afraid to abuse that fact. And one more important trick you will see me using in front of your eyes is that when you shade fur, you will never put shading surfaces that have smooth edges. You will always make a lot of messy edges with zigzags and tiny circles, so that you can show that that surface is not smooth but furry, but full of tiny hairs. And it's really simple. Just leave the edges of your gray area, as on this picture, leave them zigzaggy. And I used a regular N2 neutral gray for the wolves shading, but I placed the warm gray colors on the shading for Princess Mononoke's fur, because she wears fur that's not her own, that's maybe worn out, and it has this more of a yellowish shade to it. And she's also represented as wearing a warm gray shades on the movie itself. So I just used the original reference to play with her coloring. And of course she has a really interesting apron looking design to her, which gives her that cute silhouette, a cute body silhouette for her final look. And I wanted to save up on Copics this time a little bit, and decided to shade her dark brown hair with using an N8 neutral gray dark marker. And I used it all over the place except for the big black area I used to show that her fur was dropping a massive amount of shade on her body. And I used one of the scenes from the movie as a reference to inspire me for the background, because Princess Mononoke and her wolf mother were going through the woods, and there was this beautiful shady, blotchy amount of dark green, which was the actually representing of a forest. So I just decided to use my marker and make blotchy, stringy background in a very mild green color, so that the color green does not eat up our main characters. And she's done. If you want to support my work, you can always go to my Patreon page, you can find in the description, and support my work on a monthly basis. And if you want to learn how to draw just like this, you can always purchase my Manga Crash course book, available in English and French languages on Amazon.com, as well as in many globally widespread bookstores. Check out if your local bookstores has this book, and see you guys next time!